Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Kabir Considers. In this video, we're going to react to the craziest train collisions and mistakes caught on camera. Now, this is going to be absolutely explosive. Just like a train crash is just one of the most shocking things you can see. You know, these things weigh hundreds, sometimes thousands of tons when you account for the multiple carriages, you know, carrying hundreds of people. It's a massive, you know, tragedy when these things happen. Yeah, this video is going to be a shocker.
From a catastrophic derailment on the Blue Line in Chicago and a truck driver in Poland who couldn't stop in time, to an extreme crash in Oklahoma that sent a car flying into the air and much more. Here are the craziest train collisions and mistakes caught on camera.
Oh my God.
In the small town of Zbawien, western Poland, a truck driver learned a valuable lesson about speed limits. On January 14th of 2020, he was driving through the Polish backcountry with an excavator on the flatbed. He came around the bend too hot and couldn't stop in time for the passing train. At first, it seems like our truck driver is innocently crossing the tracks. Then, bam! The high-speed train zips by and takes them out. However, CCTV footage from a different angle puts the whole story in perspective.
Because hold on a minute. Did he drive around the gate? I was going to say, because like there was no gate, there was no barrier, so he was free to cross.
The driver approaches way too fast. You can tell he slammed on the brakes by the way the cab dips down. The truck was too heavy to stop in time. The driver makes a decision. Stop and risk the cab landing on the tracks, or try to outrun the train. He chose the latter. The train smashes the flatbed and spins it 90 degrees. Imagine being in one of those cars and watching this whole thing happen. Out of the 150 people on board, only 4 were injured, including 2 train operators. The truck driver walked away unscathed, though his truck was a lost cause.
I mean, surely he's going to be punished legally for that as well. Like, he should be. He should be. I mean, come on, he should have started braking earlier.
In the Swedish city of Gothenburg, the second largest city in the country, a public bus got stuck on the train tracks. A local man named Freddie Persson was there to film the whole accident. It was March 8th of 2020, around 7:30 a.m. Freddie was waiting for his bus when he could tell something was wrong on the railroad. The bus he needed was stuck on the tracks, and the train was fast approaching.
Fucking hell, mate.
Me. Helvete. Helvete. Helvete.
The train obliterated the bus and kept moving. Let's check that out again and in slow motion.
Bang! I came in like a wrecking ball. I don't know why that came into my head. Just kadoosh. Absolutely.
The bus does a complete 180 when the train hits. Debris flies in every direction, and it looks like the train is about to derail toward Freddie. In super slow motion, you can see a small fire off to the right. There was probably a spark that ignited the fuel. According to reports, the train partially derailed further up the tracks. Thankfully, nobody was on the bus when the train tore through. Of the 50 people on board the train, only a few suffered minor bumps and bruises.
Nightmare.
Thackerville is a sleepy little town in southern Oklahoma, right on the Texas border. If you've ever ridden the Amtrak from Fort Worth to Oklahoma City, then you've passed through. On October 16th of 2021, the conductor on Amtrak train 822 saw something up ahead. A fully loaded car hauler had gotten stuck, and there was no stopping the speeding train. A local driving behind the truck recorded the violent crash.
You just, you know, you know what's coming. Like, you know what's coming, but there's nothing he can do. He can't back up. He can't get over the track. You just got to get out. You got to get out of the truck and just run, I guess. Oh my God.
The sheriff's office arrived to find the driver and his dog shaken up, but okay. 4 people on the train suffered minor injuries and were treated at a local hospital. The crash looked like something out of a video game. Look at how high that car gets when the train plows through. You can see how the tracks elevate off the main road. Perhaps the semi bottomed out and couldn't drive over the hump. It also looks like the crossing arms are stuck on the truck. But if the driver wanted to move, he could have just driven through.
Could he?
It seems like semi-trucks just love getting stuck on train tracks in the South. This next crash comes from Richmond, Texas, a small city outside of Houston. On May 5th of 2021, an 18-wheeler carrying cases of bottled water was traveling through Richmond when it got caught on the tracks.
Why does this happen? There should be, there should be like a ramp over the... I'm trying to think, how could you avoid this from happening? Like, perhaps where the crossing is, you could install like a slightly elevated ramp that allows the truck to easily get over the track. Because, if this keeps on happening, like, there's got to be a way to solve this.
A local man was standing at the intersection of 2nd Street and South Calhoun. He was wise enough to take a few steps back and then press record.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Because the train can't stop. The train needs miles and miles to hit the brakes. You know.
The train was like a hot knife through butter. It sliced the truck in half, but thankfully nobody got hurt. The police said the semi was carrying about 44,000 pounds of bottled water. Plastic littered the surrounding area, and it took them several days to clean up. Like the Thackerville crash, you can see the crossing arm is down and touching the truck. Maybe the driver thought the train would stop in time and didn't want to break the arm? Well, rule number 1, never assume the train will stop.
Because, yeah, like, for the train to stop, he would need to see the obstacle from like 10 miles away or something like that, because of the momentum the train has. And obviously he won't be able to see the obstacle because he's got like all this like train track to get through before he can see the thing.
Arteuil is a small municipality in the Belgian province of West Flanders. It's the kind of place that avoids international headlines until something forces them into the spotlight. On December 20th of 2022, around 4 p.m. local time, a semi-truck got stuck on the train tracks. From what we can gather, the driver called Iveco service, which came to help restart the truck. What he should have done was call Infrabel, the railroad company, to see if they could divert the train. Workers from Iveco try to fix the truck. As the story goes, the truck originally broke down in front of the tracks. Iveco arrived and was able to start it up, but it died again after a few feet. The clock starts ticking when the arms come down. The driver gets back in to see if she'll start, but it's useless. You can see the man flailing his arms, a telltale sign that they don't know what to do. It seems like they're having trouble getting the hood open, so they try forcing it with a board. But their efforts are too late. Our driver runs away and watches the train obliterate his truck. The front 2 cars derailed off camera. Out of everyone on the packed train, only a few suffered minor injuries. According to Infrabel, the damage extended over a distance of 500 meters. They have stickers posted near these crossings. If you ever get stuck, you're supposed to call them and let them know. They may be able to divert an incoming train.
It must be so surreal seeing your truck, you know, because a truck is a big vehicle, right? Just seeing it just poof by some train. Just, you know, just ripped apart.
Chicago L train is among the Windy City's most recognizable landmarks. 8 colored lines will take you anywhere you need to go. For those flying in and out of Chicago, the blue line takes them right to O'Hare International Airport.
I need to get to Chicago. I do. I need to try some of that famous deep dish pizza.
But if they were traveling in late March of 2014, they had to make other plans. It was March 24th of 2014, close to 3 a.m. The Blue Line was making its standard trip to O'Hare when something went horribly wrong. The inbound train overran the bumper and nearly took out 2 people standing nearby. Train 141 approaches O'Hare Station. It uses the cross track to get into the middle lane, where it's supposed to stop and let everyone off. The electronic brakes were supposed to kick in once the train entered the station. However, there simply wasn't enough room. The 2 people at the top of the escalators have no idea that a 23-mile-per-hour train is barreling right toward them. The train overruns the tracks, smashes through the bumping post, and rides up the escalators. The 2 people take off running as the train nearly reaches the top. It finally stops in a cloud of dust and debris. According to the CTA, there were 50 passengers on the train when it crashed. About 33 people, including the young train operator, were taken to the hospital. She was only 25 years old and had been CTA certified for 60 days.
Oh no. So she was super inexperienced. Oh man, this probably scared the absolute crap out of her, you know. Yeah, this would scare anybody, let alone someone who's only been in the job for 2 months.
As the story goes, she had been working a lot of overtime and fell asleep at the controls.
She fell asleep? Oh man, hopefully she wasn't fired. But she probably was fired, wasn't she?
For Folk Southern, 2023 has not been their year. It seems like there's another incident involving their trains every month. To their credit, a recent crash in Warner Robins, Georgia wasn't their fault. On May 10th of 2023, a flatbed carrying a silver sedan got stuck on the crossing near Robins Air Force Base. A few impatient drivers successfully beat the crossing arm, which inspired our truck driver to do the same. As you can imagine, that was a bad idea. Traffic flows steadily through the intersection. Amazingly, cars keep coming even as the arms start falling. Our truck driver thinks he'll make it, but he can't speed up in time.
Just to save yourself, 5 minutes? People risked it. It's just like, man, why are we so impatient these days? Like, everyone's in such a rush.
It looks like the arm comes down between the cab and the silver sedan, effectively sandwiching him in. He tries pulling forward and backing up, but he's stuck. That's when he sees the train and bails out. The Norfolk Southern train obliterates the cab and drags the sedan along the tracks. The steel overhanging nearly falls on the black car behind our flatbed. Meanwhile, the driver bends over and watches the biggest mistake he's ever made speed by. It looks like someone from the Air Force Base pulls up to make sure he's okay. According to the police chief, our driver was trying to make a left turn when the crossing arms came down and trapped him. He didn't feel like he had enough time to move the truck, so he bailed before the train took him out. If you enjoyed this video and want to see another one just like it, then be sure to...
I feel so bad for the train drivers, because they're powerless in this situation. They literally can do nothing apart from brace for impact, because they need so much time to brake to stop such a massive, massive machine. And generally, if it's a train versus a truck or a train versus a car, the train is going to always win. For me, I just think... if you know there's a crossing and you can see the arms coming down, just wait. But the ones I do have some sympathy for are the truck drivers who get stuck on the track. Unless they did something wrong, maybe they didn't go... Because I don't know, because wouldn't there be some kind of solution in place to allow trucks to pass over? Because it seems that multiple times this happened in this video where the trucks got stuck. Why is that? Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.